Before getting into the B checks, if you haven't watched previous episode, we suggest you watch them first and subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos. Episode 2: B check, the transitional layer of aircraft maintenance. Between the fast-paced rhythm of A checks and the deeper complexity of C checks lies a lesser-known and increasingly rare form of inspection, the B check. Once a vital part of the maintenance hierarchy, the B check served as a middle tier in scheduled aircraft maintenance. But over the years, as airlines optimize their operations, it has been increasingly merged into other inspection cycles or phased out entirely. Still, understanding the B check and its original intent offers insight into how maintenance strategies have evolved and why flexibility is now just as important as frequency in modern MRO operations. The original purpose of the B check. The B check was designed to bridge the gap between line maintenance, A check, and more comprehensive structural and system checks, C check. It was typically performed every 6 to 8 months, or roughly every 1,000 to 1,500 flight hours, depending on aircraft type and airline maintenance programs. Unlike the A check, which is often completed overnight at a gate or during a scheduled layover, the B check usually required the aircraft to be taken out of service for 1 to 3 days. It was conducted in a hangar environment and involved a more detailed inspection of systems, deeper diagnostics, and more disassembly than the A check, though it still fell far short of the extensive teardown seen in C or D checks. While the A check focused on routine servicing, like checking fluid levels, performing visual inspections, and running quick system tests, the B check dove further into system performance and component wear. The idea was to identify developing issues before they required costly interventions later on. What happens during a B check? Historically, the B check included a series of tasks that extended beyond the reach of routine line maintenance. Technicians would inspect internal systems and structure not accessed during A checks. These included inspection of flight control linkages and mechanical systems, often requiring panels to be opened or access hatches to be removed. While this did not rise to the level of airframe exposure seen in a C check, it was enough to catch signs of wear in components such as cables, pulleys, and actuators. Detailed examination and servicing of electrical distribution systems, including connections, relays, and power buses. Electrical integrity plays a critical role in flight safety, and B checks provided a scheduled opportunity to detect corrosion, arcing, or faulty insulation. Verification of landing gear systems. Beyond just tire and brake condition, technicians would inspect struts, perform leak checks, and sometimes conduct functional tests of gear, retraction, and extension cycles using ground equipment. Lubrication of moving parts such as hinges, joints, and mechanical linkages, all of which are subject to metal fatigue and wear over time. While some lubrication tasks occur during every A check, the B check provided a more thorough application, following manufacturer-prescribed intervals. Servicing of cabin and environmental control systems, including air conditioning packs, ducting, airflow valves, and air recirculation fans. This ensured proper cabin pressurization and thermal regulation. The B check also included record reviews, cross-checking aircraft logbooks, deferred maintenance items, and modification compliance. It allowed engineering teams to reconcile maintenance data, update digital tracking systems, and schedule additional corrective actions if needed. Why B checks are disappearing? In recent decades, most major airlines have restructured their maintenance programs to eliminate the standalone B check. This isn't because the work became less important, but because scheduling and efficiency became more critical. As aircraft fleets grew and utilization rates increased, taking an aircraft offline for several days every few months became operationally and financially inefficient. In response, airlines and manufacturers began to distribute B check tasks across multiple A check events, integrating them into a rotating cycle. This allowed the work to continue at regular intervals, but without requiring a dedicated maintenance window. This shift was enabled by advances in digital maintenance planning, which allowed for more granular control over task intervals. It also reflected growing confidence in aircraft system reliability, especially in newer generation aircraft that incorporate health monitoring and automatic fault detection. In today's maintenance environment, a B check may still exist in name, but it rarely functions as an isolated event. Instead, it has become a concept, a collection of intermediate-level tasks often included in A-check variants or tied to calendar time, rather than flight hours alone, where B-checks still exist. Despite the trend toward elimination, some airlines and MRO organizations still retain B-checks as a formal event. This is more common in airlines operating older aircraft, where systems do not support predictive maintenance or real-time monitoring, and physical inspection remains the best way to ensure integrity. Cargo or charter operations with low utilization rates, where A checks occur less frequently, and the additional oversight of a B check provides added safety margins. Military or government fleets that follow strict internal maintenance protocols, sometimes based on legacy systems or contractual maintenance standards. Regional carriers operating in challenging environments, such as tropical or coastal climates, where corrosion, contamination, and system degradation occur more rapidly. In these cases, B checks offer valuable mid-cycle assurance, especially for systems that do not experience daily inspection under typical A check scopes. The value of transitional maintenance. Even in environments where the B check has been phased out, its underlying purpose still matters. The idea of transitional maintenance, addressing systems not touched daily, but not waiting for a C check, is still relevant. It ensures that critical but less visible components are inspected regularly, even if that regularity now comes through staggered task distribution. The move away from B checks reflects a shift in mindset, from maintenance defined by the calendar to maintenance defined by data. Airlines now use aircraft health monitoring systems, digital twins, and historical trend analysis to anticipate component degradation and trigger inspections based on real-world conditions. This is not a reduction in oversight, it's a refinement, and the legacy of the B-check lives on in how those refinements are applied. The B-check may no longer be a common sight on modern fleet calendars, but its legacy remains an important part of aviation maintenance evolution. It reminds us that maintenance is not just about compliance, it's about finding the right balance between operational demand and technical discipline. As aircraft systems become smarter and more integrated, the line between inspection categories continues to blur. What matters most is not how the checks are named, but how consistently and intelligently they are performed. In our next episode, we'll turn to the C-check, a far more invasive and resource-intensive inspection that grounds the aircraft for days and demands precise coordination, heavy tooling, and cross-disciplinary expertise. Because as you move deeper into the maintenance cycle, the complexity grows, but so does the responsibility. Thank you for watching, and we encourage you to watch the next episodes.